Hello, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the Kerrville Weekly News Roundup, hosted by the Texas Hill Country Podcast Network. We are the founders of the network, and your hosts today, Tom Fox, Gay, and Gilbert Paiz. Here in the studio, we're a day early, and it's in the morning. Usually, we do this on Friday afternoon, so we're happy to be here. We got a short week for most of us coming up into Memorial Day weekend, so we're going to discuss our top news picks this Thursday morning with you guys and close out a good week. Hope you guys have had a good week. How y'all doing?
Doing great.
Living the dream, Andrew.
Happy to be here.
Happy.
I have two things to say. Happy.
Oh, man.
That's an inside joke in case you didn't know.
I know. You know, it's like we're amused by our humor, but I wonder if anybody else out there is amused by our humor. Okay, guys, thank you for joining us. Let's get right to it. Tom, you want to do the honors as always and kick us off, sir?
Sure. So I saw a presentation this week at the Rotary Club of Kerrville on the Kerrville Public School Foundation. And it was a really eye-opening presentation for me. The Kerrville Public School Foundation doles out about $300,000 a year in grants to Kerrville teachers. It can be an individual teacher, it can be a group of teachers, or it can be an entire school. And the breadth and scope of the projects was truly stunning. Sometimes it's as little as $250 if somebody needs some goggles in a science lab or textbooks or something of that nature. But you guys probably didn't know, but Kerrville Tivy High School has an aeronautics and aviation program. And the aviation program was funded by a grant from the Kerrville Public School Foundation to put together that program and have the equipment to do that. The smart boards, and I know they're not smart, but the level above what used to be called a white smart board are also in classrooms with an $850,000 grant from the Kerrville Public School Foundation.
Yeah, they're straight up flat screen TVs now.
Right. I mean, touchchools.
I mean, it's crazy.
And the teachers absolutely love them. And so all of that came from the foundation. It is a great performance of great public service, funded totally by donations from the local community. So if you have the chance to support the Kerrville Public School Foundation, please do so. And then the second thing is tonight on May 25, I believe, is the opening night of the 52nd Kerrville Folk Festival.
Yes, sir.
And Kerrville Folk Festival started in the mid-70s, 72, I believe, 71, and has gone forward. And this is a great music event. It's literally one of the country's top folk festivals, and brings great artists to our little community. It will play out over 3 weekends, but they have training. They have new songwriter competitions and classes. They have individual musician and music classes, all out at the ranch. It is a ton of fun. The music is first rate, and the musicians clearly love playing here. It's just a great little 3-week slice of music heaven, if you like, singer-songwriters. So check out the Kerrville Folk Festival for 2023. My wife and I are going to opening night. So that's what I have this week, Andrew.
That's awesome. And I was going to say, you're speaking from experience there. You've gone more than just once, right?
I went in the 70s. I went in the 80s. I went in the aughts. And I went last year.
That's great. That's great. All right, Gilbert, what do you got for us today?
I was going to ask Tom, tell us about your experiences at the Kerrville Folk Festival and all the things that you did.
You went.
But
I have two things to say.
Fun. Huh?
Go for it. Fun.
Do you recall or remember any of those first ones that you went to?
As much as I remember many things that happened in 1978. Yes.
Yeah. You remember it was a good time, though.
I do.
Good experience.
That's all that matters, right? As long as you had a good time.
That's what you're there for.
So I'm told.
And your criminal record does not reflect any activities from that time either. So we're good. Well, I wanted to do
Speaking
first thing.
of criminal records.
Yeah, I think that's Andrew's segment. I wanted to bring up and give a little shout out to all the high school graduates, all the 5th grade graduates, all the 8th grade graduates,
Yes, sir.
all the kindergarten graduates. Tomorrow is the last day of school for Kerrville ISD, and it's an amazing achievement. I think young people today don't appreciate how many options and opportunities they have, and it's as you adult, it becomes harder and harder because all of a sudden you're responsible for a lot more stuff. But shout out to all the graduates. And then I also wanted to talk to a lot of the young people out there that are getting ready to go into their summertime. It's always a good idea to consider what you can do to not necessarily just improve yourself, but help improve your community during the summertime. And yeah, you can, as a teenager, just spend your time in your room on TikTok and YouTube and playing video games. But I would encourage you to think about doing something else this summer. Think about volunteering. Think about getting a job. Think about helping out your local community do things. As an example, the city of Kerrville is hiring lifeguards. They need lifeguards to staff the city pool. They need people to help out in various different ways. Now, of course, if you're 13 years old, you may not be able to work for the city, but if you're 17, you should be able to. And if you don't have any training in being a lifeguard, they'll give it to you, and they'll pay you while you're getting the training. So, help out your neighbor, little old ladies. There's plenty of them here in Kerrville that might need your help cutting grass. Volunteer to help them out. I'm going to encourage my daughter, she's only 13, to volunteer at one of the local animal shelters and help care for the animals. Otherwise, if I don't, I know what she's going to do. She's going to sit in her room all day, wake up at 12, get on TikTok, and stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning, and then do it all over again the next day. And that's really not a good way to spend your summer.
No one wants that.
It's
easy to get sucked down those rabbit
Oh,
holes.
for
man.
sure, for
when
sure.
You're a kid, even more.
I think I did some of those things when I was a teenager, but not very often. So I'm gonna encourage my kids, my little girl at least, to volunteer because she's too young to get a job, and my little boy, I'm gonna encourage him to get a job, be a busboy at one of the local restaurants. Every single restaurant in Kerrville is looking for some help, and being a busboy is a good entry-level job for a teenager. My boy is one for working outside, so landscaping and cutting grass probably isn't his bag, but he can clear off tables, and so he's going to get a job this summer. And so I would encourage a lot of you young people, if you instead of just hanging out in your room looking at TikTok, do something for your community. So that's my rant as far as
okay, but why do they call it bussing tables?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know why they call it bussing tables.
I've never done that either.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a reason for it, but what it is escapes me. So all you young people, get out of your room, man. Get a tan, go outside, do something. It drives me nuts that so many kids just stay inside all day and don't do anything.
Get a tan. That's great.
Yeah, it can't hurt. And then my second story today I wanted to share with everybody. The first story was for young people. The second story is for older people. The Kerrville Chamber of Commerce has opened up registration for their Business Expo. And the Business Expo this year is going to be at the Hill Country Youth Event Center like it was the previous few years, but it's on August 4th and 5th. It's a Friday and a Saturday. So on Friday night, they're going to do the first Friday One Share. And then the next day on Saturday is when the Business Expo is going to go on from 10 to 3. So put it on your calendar of August 4th and 5th, Friday and Saturday at the Hill Country Youth Event Center. If you're a business owner and you're interested, this is a really good place and a really good time to get out there and put your name out there. Andrew and I, in our other business, we go out there and we promote ourselves. We're financial advisors in our regular day jobs, but we go out there and we hand out little tchotchkes, pens, and brochures, and we talk to people about what we do. And
we got popcorn.
We got popcorn and water.
That's like our highlight. We love it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun just
Good
to meet
experience.
people. And then, of course, most of the booths, I guess you could say, they all promote like a little raffle. So last year and the year before, we did a raffle. So, you just got to drop your name and phone number. It's our way to capture your information, who you are, your phone number, and your email, so we can spam you all day long with promotions about what we do. I'm just kidding about the promotion part. But it's a way to get out there and find out the businesses that are in your local community. If you're a business owner and you want to look at signing up, the booths are $300. $300 if you're a nonprofit, $350 if you're a chamber member, right?
That's right. Yeah.
And then $500 if you want a premium booth, which is a corner booth that you get access to both sides. And that's not a bad option, but I think the regular booth, $350, it comes with some electricity. You get a 10 by 10 square. It's yours. You get a couple chairs, and then you can get out there and just promote yourself. And it's pretty fun. Andrew and I have a good time.
Yes,
we always get to meet people. It's not necessarily the place you go to double your business overnight, but it is a way for you to get out there and meet your community members and talk a little bit about what you do. So if you're interested in registering for the Chamber of Commerce Business Expo, go to the Chamber of Commerce website. It is kerrvillechamber.biz for more information about the expo.
Thank you, Gilbert.
You're welcome.
All right. So for myself here today, I got a couple of mentions. Harley Belew, Kerr County Commissioner Harley Belew is due tomorrow morning at the Kerr County Courthouse to start a hearing to determine whether or not he can continue to hold office. And if you're watching this right now, be sure to tune into the lead. The Kerr County lead tomorrow morning. We'll be hosting it here from our satellite office in the Kerrville South Tower, as our friend Louis Amistoy from the Kerr County League will be attending that hearing tomorrow to keep us up to date there through his Facebook page. He usually jots some really good notes down about what's happening in some of those meetings. And speaking of, he was at the library meeting last night and had plenty to say about that. I always enjoy his little blogs and blurbs and comments. So that was one. Number two, EA Hoppe, the city manager, is leaving us. He is on the bigger and better things. I believe he's looking at taking a spot somewhere up around the Dallas area. I think it was Frisco, if my information is correct, is the area he was looking at moving to. So, it's important to keep up with who the city manager is. They control a lot of the department heads of what goes on in the city and what can happen here locally. And for those of us that are here permanently, it's a big deal. We want to make sure that we have the people working in the city to work towards our benefit and what we want the future of Kerrville to look like. And then just a couple little side mentions. Peterson, I feel like every time I'm looking for stuff to talk about, during this episode of the podcast during the week, Peterson is like winning an award every single week. So great facility, but they won another award for best places to work by Modern Healthcare. This is the third consecutive year in a row that they won that award. So I thought that was worth mentioning as well. And then finally, at the end of last week, there was a Q&A around the solar eclipses at the Diedert Center. They had a fantastic turnout. Plenty of people showed up, asked plenty of questions, and I just wanted to mention that because if you guys follow our network here, the podcast network, we know that we're doing a solar eclipse podcast, so that's on our radar. We keep up with a lot of that, of what's going on there and what the city's doing to prepare for that and try to educate the public about it. And it seems like there's a lot of interest from the citizens of Kerr County. They're starting to ramp up as far as their questions and preparedness and interest in the matter of the two solar eclipses coming. Of course, the annular eclipse is in October of this year, and then the biggie, the total solar eclipse, is in April of next year. So that will do it for us for mentions for our top news picks for the week. What do you guys got going on this weekend? Anything worthy of mentioning? I know you mentioned that you're going to go to opening night.
I'm going to opening night of
That's
the
exciting.
Kerrville Folk Festival. Actually, my wife and I decided to go back to the movies.
Hey.
Yesterday we went and saw Fast and Furious 10. Today or tomorrow we're going to see John Wick. Saturday we're going to see Guardians of the Galaxy, and maybe Sunday and Monday as well.
Dang,
so
man.
Going back to the movie theater, it is fun to go back, and I forgot what an enjoyable experience it could be. And I'm a sucker for popcorn. So love to get popcorn and a Coca-Cola.
That's awesome.
Don't forget the Little Mermaid.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Dude, my
You're gonna pass on that
my
one.
wife and I just binge watched all 3 John Wicks.
Then
So
you're ready for
we're
number 4.
primed. Yeah. So we might have to look into doing that as well.
Guardians of the Galaxy, it's 4 to 5 stars for me. I saw it a couple weeks ago with my boys, with my boy and my son, my brother in Houston. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. You'll like it. What am I going to do this weekend? I got a graduation to go to tomorrow. One of my nieces is graduating from high school tomorrow in San Antonio. So we're going to go.
Another
I
one?
don't
Because you
know.
just went to one in Houston.
Yeah, last week. I don't know that we're going to make it to the actual graduation event because it's at the Alamo Dome, and I really don't want to spend my morning dealing with 20,000 other people. But I'll definitely go to the party afterwards at her mother's house. So look forward to that, seeing my family and congratulating my niece. And I'm so happy for her because now she gets to become an adult.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How cool. I don't have much planned for myself other than after we host the lead from here tomorrow morning, my wife and I are taking off to go back behind the pine curtain and spend the weekend in Nacogdoches over Memorial Day weekend and get some good FaceTime with family. My 2 little nieces that are both girls, 2 and 1. So plenty of family time to be had there over the weekend. We actually did talk about maybe going to the movie. So maybe I could convince him to go see John Wick. Family-friendly movie. Family-friendly outing. Go see John Wick. Okay. All right, guys, that'll do it for us today. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we will catch you back here next week. Have a wonderful and safe Memorial Day weekend.